Okay, so I need to get this off my chest because I'm still processing what just went down in my life, and I swear you guys couldn't make this stuff up if you tried. For context, I'm Lisa, 28, and I work as a graphic designer for this boutique marketing agency in Miami. I've been dating Jason, 30, for almost 2 years. He's this hotshot financial analyst who works for one of those glass tower firms downtown where everyone wears Patagonia vests over button-ups thinking they're the next Wolf of Wall Street or something. So here's the tea. We've been planning this dream vacation to Bali for a year. Like, I'm talking vision boards, Instagram saved collections, the whole shebang. I've been putting aside money from every paycheck, skipping my usual Starbucks cold brews, and even sold some of my old furniture on Facebook Marketplace to afford this trip. This was supposed to be our let's take this relationship to the next level vacation, if you know what I mean. 3 days before we're set to fly out, I start feeling a little under the weather. Nothing major, just a slight headache that comes and goes. But Jason, oh man, he goes into full WebMD mode. Babe, I think you're getting a migraine, he says, looking at me with these puppy dog eyes that I now realize were faker than the leather on my Target handbag. I'm like, dude, it's just a headache, nothing some Advil and coconut water can't fix. But he keeps insisting it's getting worse, even though I'm the one with the actual head. The night before our flight, Jason comes home with a CVS bag full of migraine meds and those cooling gel patches. He's all, sweetheart, I've been researching and flying with a migraine can cause permanent damage. He shows me all these horror stories he found online about people who flew with migraines and ended up with brain swelling or whatever. Y'all, I'm not a doctor, but I've had headaches before and flown just fine. But he was so convincing and seemed so concerned. He kept saying things like, I don't want to go without you, but we can't get refunds this late, and I'll FaceTime you every day, and I'll bring you back the prettiest shell from the beach. So I reluctantly agreed to stay home while he, grudgingly, went on our dream vacation alone. He literally packed while sighing dramatically every 5 minutes like he was in some daytime soap opera. Before he left, he even set up this little care station next to the bed with Gatorade, crackers, and my Netflix queue loaded up. Fast forward 24 hours. I'm feeling totally fine. Shocker, right? And scrolling through Instagram when I see that our mutual friend Kyle posted a story tagging Jason at the Bali resort. I'm thinking, aw, how sweet, he made it there safely. So I click on it, and there he is. My boyfriend, with his arm around his ex-girlfriend Megan. Let me tell you about Megan. She's this Lululemon-wearing, green juice-drinking yoga instructor who dated Jason for 3 years before me. They broke up because she moved to Seattle for work, but apparently Seattle wasn't far enough, because there she was, in my spot, on my vacation. I literally dropped my phone on my face. I was lying down, and yes, it hurt. Then I did what any rational woman would do. I went through every social media platform like I was the FBI. Turns out Megan had been posting too. Pictures of the exact hotel room we booked, the couple's massage we reserved, and even wearing a sundress that looked suspiciously like one I had mentioned wanting to wear on our first night there. Now, I know what you're thinking. Call him, scream, throw his stuff out the window, right? That's amateur hour, folks. And honestly, I'm too old for that drama. Plus, our condo is on the 23rd floor of this bougie high-rise, and I didn't want to catch a case for potentially injuring innocent pedestrians with flying Yeezys. Instead, I poured myself a generous glass of Trader Joe's finest $8 Cabernet and started planning. Because if there's one thing I've learned from binge-watching The Real Housewives, it's that revenge is a dish best served creative. First things first, I called my landlord. Fun fact, I'm actually the one on the lease for our place. Jason just pays me his half. So I explained the situation, leaving out some details because my landlord is this sweet older lady who still calls Facebook the Facebook, and she agreed to let me change the locks. Next, I called my friend Marcus, who works at this storage facility down in Wynwood. Got myself a unit, no questions asked. Then I texted my brother and his gym buddies to help me move Jason's stuff this weekend. And when I say Jason's stuff, I mean everything. His clothes, his precious sneaker collection, his PlayStation 5 that he loves more than life itself, his protein powders, even his stupid motivational posters. But here's where my graphic design skills really came in clutch. I took detailed photos of all his belongings before packing them away. Every single thing. His ergonomic office chair, his collection of sports memorabilia, his beloved standing desk, his stupid little Bitcoin mining setup that was jacking up our electricity bill. Over the next 3 days, while getting wish-you-were-here texts from Jason that made me want to vomit, I became a cardboard engineering genius. I made life-sized cardboard replicas of all his major possessions. And not just quick cutouts. I'm talking detailed, color-printed, mounted on foam board masterpieces. His 65. Samsung TV, cardboard. His weightlifting bench, cardboard. His favorite recliner where he watches football? You guessed it, cardboard. I even recreated his closet full of designer suits and sneakers, all cardboard. The pièce de résistance, though. A life-sized cardboard cutout of Jason himself, positioned on his side of the bed, with a speech bubble that says, "Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm too busy being two-dimensional, just like my personality. I know. I'm a petty queen. But y'all, sometimes you've got to channel your inner Taylor Swift and get creative with your heartbreak. So now I'm sitting here in my apartment, surrounded by cardboard versions of my boyfriend's life, waiting for him to return from paradise with his ex in 3 days. And honestly, I've never felt more at peace." Stay tuned for update number 2 when he gets back. I've got the whole thing set to record on our Ring doorbell. Anyone else ever catch their SO in such a blatant lie? Or am I winning the Clown of the Year award here? Update 2. What's up, Reddit fam? Your girl is back with the tea you've all been waiting for. First off, I'm absolutely floored by all your comments and support on my last post. Y'all really know how to make a girl feel less crazy for turning her apartment into a cardboard IKEA display. So Operation Cardboard Revenge is now complete, and let me tell you, it went even better than I imagined. Jason was scheduled to return yesterday afternoon. I took the day off work, told my boss I needed a mental health day, which wasn't even a lie, and set up shop at my friend Kayla's apartment across the hall. Perfect viewing spot with zero chance of awkward confrontation. Around 4 p.m., our Ring doorbell alerts me that someone's approaching. And there he is, tan, rested, and wearing a new linen shirt I definitely didn't buy him. He's whistling. Whistling! Like he's some Disney prince returning from slaying a dragon instead of a cheating jerk coming back from banging his ex in Bali. He puts his key in the lock, turns it. Nothing happens. Tries again. Still nothing. The look of confusion on his face was priceless, like when someone bites into what they think is a chocolate chip cookie only to discover it's raisin. Then he starts knocking. Then pounding. Then calling my phone, which I've conveniently set to Do Not Disturb. After about 10 minutes of this, he gives up and calls the building manager. Now remember that sweet landlady I mentioned? Well, she's also a divorcee whose husband left her for his secretary in the 90s, so she was more than happy to play along. She comes up, acts surprised that his key doesn't work, and tells him, "Oh, I thought you moved out. Lisa changed the locks last week." Y'all should have seen his face. It was like watching someone try to solve a math problem while having a stroke. "What do you mean she changed the locks?" he sputters. The landlady just shrugs and says, "Domestic issues aren't my department. You'll have to talk to Lisa." Then she walks away, leaving him standing there with his fancy away luggage like a lost puppy at the airport. That's when I decide it's time for the big reveal. I text him a single picture, a wide shot of the living room with all his cardboard possessions, including cardboard Jason sitting on the couch with an Xbox controller in his hand. 3 dots appear immediately, disappear, appear again. This goes on for like 5 minutes. Finally, "What the actual fuck, Lisa?" I follow up with a text. "Since you decided our relationship was 2D enough to lie to my face, I figured your possessions should match. Your things are at Miami Storage Solutions on 5th, Unit 212. The code is your birthday, which is apparently the only date you can remember since you forgot our anniversary last month too. P.S. Hope Megan enjoyed my massage appointment." Cue the phone calls. 17 missed calls in the span of 20 minutes. Then the texts start flooding in. This isn't funny. Let me explain. It wasn't what it looked like. Where am I supposed to sleep tonight? Can we just talk about this like adults? That last one really got me. Like adults? Like adults? Sir, adults don't trick their girlfriends into staying home so they can take their exes on romantic getaways. Didn't respond to any of these. Instead, I ordered a large pepperoni pizza from Andiamo, grabbed a White Claw from Kayla's fridge, and watched through her peephole as Jason had his meltdown in the hallway. Eventually, he leaves, presumably to go check out his new storage unit lifestyle. But the saga doesn't end there. Around 10 p.m., my phone pings with an Instagram notification. Jason has posted a story, a sad selfie in his car with the caption, "When life throws you curveballs." Tagged location, the parking lot of the Holiday Inn Express by the airport. Kayla and I literally spit out our drinks laughing. This man is trying to garner sympathy on social media, while Bali pics with Megan are still in his tagged photos from 3 days ago. The audacity of mediocre men never ceases to amaze me. Later that night, I went back to my apartment. Walking in and seeing all those cardboard replicas in the dim light was actually kind of creepy, like I was in some weird art installation about shallow relationships. But it also felt powerful, like I had literally cut him out of my life in the most visual way possible. I slept like a baby that night. First time in our entire relationship, I had the bed to myself without him starfishing across 3/4 of the mattress. This morning, I woke up to an email from Jason. Subject line: "Please read this. The entire thing was a mix of apologies, excuses, and, get this, complaints about how I handled things. Apparently, I'm immature for not confronting him directly, and the cardboard thing is psychotic behavior. He says Megan reached out to him a month ago saying she was going through a rough time, and he was just being a good friend by inviting her on the trip when I couldn't go. The mental gymnastics this man is doing deserves an Olympic gold medal. Oh, and the best part? He ended the email with, "I still love you and want to work this out. Also, can you please tell me where you put my work laptop? I have an important presentation tomorrow." I haven't responded yet. Part of me wants to tell him his laptop is safe in storage with everything else. Another part wants to send him a picture of a cardboard laptop just to mess with him a little more. What do you guys think? Am I taking this too far? Not far enough? Should I forward those Bali pictures to his mom who, by the way, loves me and is always asking when we're getting engaged? Stay tuned for update number 3. And thanks again for all the support. You guys are the real MVPs. Update 3. Hey Reddit. It's been about a week since my last update, and so much has happened that I don't even know where to begin. But grab your popcorn because this story just keeps getting juicier. First off, I did not forward the Bali pics to Jason's mom, even though many of you suggested it. I decided to take the high road there, not because I'm particularly mature, but because his mom makes the best tamales at Christmas, and I didn't want to burn that bridge just yet. Priorities, people. So remember that work laptop Jason was freaking out about? Well, it was safely in storage with all his other stuff. I'm petty, not evil. I wouldn't mess with someone's livelihood. I texted him the next morning saying he could pick it up from the storage facility, and I even paid for an extra month in advance so he wouldn't have to figure that out on top of everything else. What happened next was unexpected. Jason showed up at my work. Walked straight into our open plan office with a giant bouquet of roses that must have cost half his paycheck at Whole Foods prices. My coworkers' heads whipped around so fast I'm surprised no one needed a chiropractor afterward. "Lisa," he announces loud enough for everyone to hear, "I made the biggest mistake of my life. Please give me another chance." I was mortified. My boss was in the middle of a client call 10 feet away, and my work bestie Zoe was recording the whole thing on her iPhone, like we were on an episode of The Bachelor. I pulled him into the conference room faster than you can say inappropriate workplace drama, and hissed, "What are you doing?" Making a grand gesture, he says, looking genuinely confused why I wasn't melting into a puddle of forgiveness at his feet. I thought that's what you wanted. This man really thought he was in a rom-com. I nearly gave myself a concussion from how hard I rolled my eyes. "Jason," I said, using my calmest voice. "What I wanted was for my boyfriend not to lie to my face and take his ex on our dream vacation while I stayed home thinking I was too sick to travel." He had the audacity to say, "But I've been thinking about it, and technically I never actually said Megan was coming. So I didn't technically lie." Y'all. I cannot make this up. This man was using lawyer speak like we were in court rather than discussing basic relationship decency. I just pointed to the door and said, "Leave now, or I'm calling security and telling them you're my unstable ex who's harassing me." That's when something in him snapped. His whole demeanor changed, and he slammed the roses down on the conference table. "You know what? Keep the cardboard cutouts. They probably have more personality than you anyway. Megan would never pull this kind of stunt." And that's when I pulled out the nuclear option. I took out my phone, opened Instagram, and showed him that I had DM'd Megan the night before with screenshots of all his texts to me from Bali saying how much he missed me and was thinking of me the whole time. Turns out Jason had told Megan that he and I had broken up a month ago, and that's why he invited her. Classic two-timer move. The color drained from his face faster than a shower with bad water pressure. Without another word, he turned and walked out. The roses remained on the table, already dropping petals like his dignity. The office erupted in applause when I emerged from the conference room. My boss, who I thought would be annoyed, actually gave me a fist bump and said, "That's why we hired you for the creative team." Later that day, my phone blew up with notifications. Megan had posted screenshots of Jason's texts to Emmy alongside his texts to her from the same dates. The caption, "Ladies, check your man, check your vacation plans, and most importantly, check him." It went semi-viral in our circle, with mutual friends commenting and everyone basically watching Jason's social life implode in real time. He made his accounts private within hours, but the story doesn't end there. Remember my cardboard masterpieces? Well, Zoe convinced me to take professional photos of the setup before dismantling it. She has a friend who runs this small local art gallery, and on a whim, I sent the photos over with a brief explanation of the project. They loved it. They want to feature it in their upcoming exhibition called Modern Love and Loss next month. They're even helping me transport all the cardboard items to the gallery space. Apparently, my petty revenge art has a powerful commentary on the disposability of relationships in the digital age, or something fancy like that. I've decided to call the installation two-dimensional, a study in cardboard and betrayal. Meanwhile, Jason has been couch surfing between friends' apartments. I know this because he keeps posting sad selfies with captions like, grateful for good friends during tough times, and tagging different locations every few days. He's also started sending me these long, reflective texts at 2 a.m., classic, saying things like he's doing some soul-searching and realizing what he threw away. I've been responding with pictures of cardboard boxes. My therapist says I'm processing my grief through creativity and humor, which is healthier than some alternatives. My mom says I'm a vindictive genius. My dad hasn't stopped laughing since I told him the story. As for me, I'm sleeping better, focusing on my career, and feeling weirdly inspired. Sometimes the trash really does take itself out. You just have to change the locks and replace it with cardboard first. Stay tuned for one final update after the gallery opening next month. I have a feeling Jason might make an appearance, and I've already brainstormed some choice words if he does. Love you guys. Thanks for coming on this cardboard revenge journey with me. Final update. Quick final update. The gallery opening was amazing. My cardboard installation was the hit of the show, and I got featured in a local art magazine. Plot twist. A design agency director attended the exhibition and offered me a job with a 30% salary increase. As for Jason, he sent a text saying he's moving on. Translation, Megan blocked him too. My new apartment has better views, no cardboard furniture, and 0 lying exes. Life's good when you cut out what doesn't serve you, sometimes literally with scissors.